welcome to the Blackphone Grand Prix of New York for round 2 of the Go-Kart Mania iRacing Pro Championship. It's all on Racebot TV, streaming live on iRacing Live as always. Qualifying action coming up next from the Glen. It's time for round number 2 of the Go-Kart Mania iRacing Pro Championship as Watkins Glen International introduces the Radical SR8 this round, as well as an ample supply of vigorous virtual sim races to take the fight to the historic US circuit. Those sim races, of course, range from a number of real series, including NASCAR Mexico. We've seen the Blancpain Endurance Series drivers here as well, Champ Car, so many more. Last round, however, it was a virtual racer named Donaciano Martinez who claimed the win by only 16 hundredths of a second ahead of series champion Roberto Montero. Alex D'Alba finished within a second as well. The top 3 closely matched. And if the MX-5 could produce scintillating action last time out at Ryan Rock Park, we're ready all again for the Radical SR8 around Watkins Glen. The cup course layout being used today, same as last season, 4 kilometers in length, that's 2.45 miles. That incorporates only 7 turns, much the same as last week, but only 2 to the left this time around, 5 to the right, which will challenge the drivers, as always, for 45 minutes of racing around the high-speed, high-overtaking festival that is the Glen. Good afternoon, everybody. Johnny Simon on hand in the commentary booth alongside Alvin Nieves and Hugo Luis for us on cameras. And what a race it was 7 days ago, Alvin. We returned to the Watkins Glen this season for another time. Last season's event was entertaining around here, has to be said, for the least. What's the challenge for these drivers in the Radical SR8 this time around? Because it's definitely not going to be easy.
Yeah, good evening to everybody watching in the race today. Well, it's a totally different car and circuit to what we found during the last round. We had the MX-5 at Lime Rock, a very short track and relatively slow car to say the least, but today it is a totally different thing. You're here at Watkins Glen, really fast track, and you combine that with a car like the Radical with a relatively high downforce car compared to the MX-5. So really driving it at the limit and trying to get those turns as trying to nail those apexes with the highest speed possible will be really key here today. But we can also not forget that this track also with its high-speed nature also brings the slipstream, so really important to have that into consideration in here today.
Yep, definitely. As we follow Jake Vita into the first corner right now with 8 minutes and 43 seconds remaining in qualifying. Traffic coming out of the pit lane. That's not going to phase Jake though, and he travels up through the S's. As Jake needs a super qualifying time, it has to be said. He needs a few extra points from Prekop Racing, the Mexican super touring driver, as he heads into the bus stop now. Difficult corner here, Alvin, but you've just got to throw the car into the corner, keep it in a straight line. He's got traffic ahead, and that forces him off track. That is going to be an issue in qualifying today with so many cars out there.
Yeah, it definitely is going to be an issue. We saw it also last round during qualifying with so many cars, trying to find that piece of real estate where you can get a good clean lap. And another thing we also have to watch here, the conditions in here today when it comes to temperature. It's really cold in here today. So track temperature is also, as a result, it's really cold. It's around 22 degrees Celsius. So coming out of the pits, the tires will be cold, and drivers have to be really careful because it's really slippery out there and you can lose your car coming out of the pits.
Yeah, you definitely can, as Hector Aguirre now goes through the carousel, hugging the curbs quite a lot right there as cars making mistakes in front, going off the racetrack. Aguirre, though, took pole position last round, and he's currently in the 6th position, looking for it again. He's got Montero, who currently goes to provisional pole now with a 1 minute 6.990, 3/10 up on everybody else. Aguirre now through the final few parts of the corner. This is actually not a bad lap for Aguirre. We'll see if it counts though, whether or not the stewards deemed he went off track. But Aguirre crosses the line, and that's not going to count there. So he continues away now. This traffic, Alvin, I don't want to bring it up for a second time, but the slipstream may help here. And that's somewhere where the traffic can be a hindrance, but it may also benefit you if you can avoid, getting held up and just take the slipstream advantage.
Yeah, it certainly is. It can be an advantage, but it can also hinder you. So it's just a matter of being really smart with traffic ahead, knowing who is ahead of you, knowing who you can trust, who, of course, knowing who you can go along with, because it's really difficult to say the least. And you gotta trust the person that's in front of you, and it even helps if he's a bit faster than you. That way, you are kind of guaranteed to have that slipstream and make sure you can get the best lap possible here.
Yep, so Aguirre now, final couple of corners. This one is going to have to be a better improvement, though. He didn't have the best of races last time out. Ended up finishing 2 laps down. Had a couple of incidents to his name as well. Now he crosses the line. 1 minute 7.279, and he climbs his way up to the 2nd row, just behind Montero and Vite, and that is Aguirre's run over. He's got plenty of time left. He's going to back off this time around. Looking down the order, though, Jose Zanella, with his rapid start last round, is coming across the line now. 5.5 minutes. Plenty of time remaining if he can't get this lap going. He improves by 1/100 of a second, but it's not enough to improve his position.
Yeah, it is pretty much everybody trying to find a space here to try to get the best qualifying position here, but definitely not easy here. We got 44 cars in here today, as Jose Zanella just yeah, you can see how difficult it is in here trying to get that space. Especially like I just mentioned, the cars coming out of the pits, it's really hard to try to find a space, and the cars coming out of the pits, they have to be really careful here, as we are riding with Antonio Valdivia here now coming into this inner loop or bus stop. Pretty much people know him by 2 names, but it's a really fun section here at the track as you go here down the carousel. It's a long right-hander going downhill, and now we go into this what's the NASCAR version of the track as we are about to finish that lap. Now really important to get these two turns. You can go really high speed as he just tap there with the traffic in front, so I'm pretty sure he will avoid this lap.
Yep, so for VMC Motorsports, Antonio Valdivia Aborts the lap. His team may not be too pleased with that, but he's got a bit of time now. They should be pleased at least with a third row start provisionally, as well as Donaciano Martinez now, who won the last round. He's heading his way now through the carousel, only in P7 on the 4th row. It's not as crucial, you could say, Alvin, for qualifying this round to be up there, you know, for pole position, but definitely getting yourself as close as possible is really important now for Donaciano, excuse me.
Yeah, it certainly is, and you know, every position that you can be ahead, it certainly does help you. We do have to remember that getting pole position here will get you 2 extra points, so that, you know, those fighting for the championship, really important to try to get those extra points. Every point counts here. You never know going into the last round of this championship. If perhaps if you could have gone for that extra pole position, for that extra fastest lap of the race, or for that most laps lead, if that can help.
Yeah, as Martinez now just got collected into the wall, so that's not good for him. And he was just beginning a rapid time, so now he's going to go out and away. 3 minutes remaining. A lap around here is around 1 minute 6, 1 minute 7 range for the top 15. Everybody else down the order in the 1 minute 09, 1 minute 08, 1 minute 9 range, I should say. So variant throughout the order. But Montero still leads ahead of Vite. Aguirre in 3rd, sharing the 2nd row with Razzo. Then it's Valdivia and Villamil. Martinez are in 7th. We were just following. Then it's Jose Zanella in 8th, rounding out the top 10. Andres Espinosa and someone we've come very familiar with, Juan Carlos Anton Garcia. Perez Gama just outside the top 10. And now Raul Perez Gama, as he goes through the carousel, definitely needs to find some time right now. He's backed off, trying to wait for the clean air in front. That's smart by Raul Perez Gama. And that should benefit him quite a bit, Alvin. He's had to let a couple of the cars through, and I think he's just left too much room there. Now he's got no clean air.
Yeah, it is definitely. You're trying to get as much of a clean room as possible here, but sometimes if you're not aware of what's happening behind you, but it can also be the possibility that you are trying to let some cars behind go ahead and perhaps know somebody that's faster than you and benefit from that slipstream, which could be the deciding factor here for this qualifying session. Yep,
so Perez Gama, who just getting the slipstream now for PRT in that PRT car. Still in 11th, trying to get as much as he can from the driver in front. That is Jose Luis Gallardo, who's in 15th, and has Perez Gama caught him at the wrong time. Skips over the grass a little bit, but he keeps the car straight. Now through the carousel. He should be able to get 2 laps in, so this one may not count. And regardless of that, Alvin, look at the traffic in front. So he probably wouldn't have gotten clean air if he kept on pedaling away. But Perez Gama, let's see if this time is good enough to climb his way into the top 10. He's going to need a very, very big ladder for it. A lot of time to make up. Oh, clips the curb into the wall a little bit, scrapes it, and that's his lap over. That's qualifying over for Perez Gama. He will not start in the top 10, and that mistake at the end cost him dearly.
Yeah, it certainly is. So we can see that you're trying to go all out, trying to get to extract the most performance out of this radical here today. Like I mentioned, it's a downforce car, so you really have to push it. You really have to go for it. You really have to lean into those corners, have that confidence level as high as possible, because high speed. It's all about high speed with this car, especially on a track like this. You really have to be confident trying to get into these turns. And of course, as we have saw, those things happen, as Jose Zanella just in pole position right now with qualifying being over right now.
Yep, and Aguirre crossed the line, and that is not good enough, and he will not be able to set another lap. So Hector Aguirre did not make the line. He took the checkered flag, but Jose Zanella on pole position. What a way to make up for that error on the first lap last time out at Lime Rock Park. But let's see if anybody else can improve on that. Roberto Montero, his qualifying session's over. He'll only start as good as second. What about Jake Vite? Checkered flag for Vite. He's through the carousel, though. He's got a bit of traffic, and that's going to cost him... Oh, that's going to cost him incredibly. Now he's alongside. That's Victor Morales there. and he lets Vite through. He understands Vite is going for a pole position. Can Jake do it? He really needs this. Finished only 6th last time around. Car at the final corner. Slow car. He's upside down. And that is comical right there. He keeps getting turned around. Now everybody else's laps are starting to be scruffed. And I think that should be qualifying over Alvin. That was amazing there.
Yeah, really interesting that end on that qualifying session. You know, trying to find a good bit of clean track there, but you know, those kind of those things happen. But you know what? For a second race in a row, we got a different pole sitter here.
Yep, so there you go. Pole sitter Jose Zanella with a 1 minute 6.977. He shares the front row with Roberto Montero for the race coming up in just about a minute or two time. And it's Jake Vite in 3rd, Hector Aguirre in the 4th position. 1 minute 7.252 for Vite. 1 minute 7.279 for Hector Aguirre, so very close with the times between the top 2 and 3 and 4. Then we look at 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th as Razzo, Valdivia share the 3rd row. Then it's Villamil and our round 1 winner Donaciano Martinez. He's got some work cut out for him there on the 4th row. Andres Espinosa and Juan Carlos Anto Garcia round out the top 10. Then it's Perez Gama and Mendez. See on your screens. Later on as well, we see Nahuma Lin starts from 13th outside the top 10 again. Ruben Ravello there in 14th. Good qualifying performance from him. Jose Luis Gallardo ended up in 15th. Couldn't improve late in the session. Diego Ortega in 16th. Arturo Romero, Abraham Calderon. Calderon's a guy who's been quite hyped up with us at the moment, so hope if Calderon can improve in his race this time around. We've seen some nice, impressive results from him. You can see the rest of the grid on your screen as well there. All the way down in 25th is Alex Dialba Alvin. And that is not good for our podium finisher from last round, who he won the race initially until we realized that they crossed the line and there was going to be another lap. It was within 1 second of finishing the race.
Yeah, it was definitely. Last round was really intense, especially those last 5 minutes with Alex Dialba, Donaciano Martinez, and Roberto Montero fighting for that win. And yeah, we got kind of confused. We thought that as we saw the clock, we thought that it was gonna be the end of the race, but it was one more lap to go, and you know, that's where Donaciano Martinez just took the winner here. But definitely, I will say, when it comes to here for pole position, you know, it's a good thing to start in front, but I would guess that it wouldn't hurt to be in front. But you know, being right there in med pack, you still have a chance as we got the pace car rolling right now.
Yep, so rolling start. And Zanella will lead the field away. Jose Zanella ahead of Roberto Montero. So as the safety or pace car gets away right now, they'll do one pace lap. And then we'll have a rolling start ready for these drivers right now. You know what? For the weather today, 22-degree track temp, 21-degree overcast out there at the moment. Celsius, that is. And wind's not that bad right now. Only 4 kilometers an hour, 3 starting to come down as well as we look at it's updated every couple of seconds. Weather's not that big, that tricky right now for the drivers. I'd say that the trickiest part, anyway, would just be how much grip there is on the racetrack early on in this race.
Yeah, it definitely will be, as I know that everybody here will be really struggling here during the first lap of this race. So really important to take this pace lap and try to get some heat on those tires, because pretty sure once the green flag drop is gonna be really slippery here. As I see that we have an incident here in the middle of the field, trying to find exactly what happened.
See the number 19, that's Miguel Hudebro, who's hauling back down the order. Wow, that rear wing's bent. He's going to have to take to the pits. So whether or not he can start this race right now is another question in itself, and that was not a good incident. I don't understand how in the pace car stages you're just going to pace yourself. That's the point of it. And drivers, I think, with so many drivers in the field, things can get a little bit confusing for some of these guys.
Yeah, it is definitely. You know, you got a pace lap, and whole point, like you just mentioned, you know, try to take it easy, make sure that everything is working properly. But it's, you know, sometimes you get a little bit too eager with the throttle, and that's pretty much what happened there.
So we wait now for the pace car to pull in shortly as they cross through. Well, they're going to cross through turn 6 and 7 soon. The final couple of corners. Lovely camber to help ease the car into the turn-in point. But Zanella right now, who last round had a great start, went from 5th to 4th. Had an early spin. He's got time to make it up this time at Watkins Glen as round number 2 for the Blackphone Grand Prix of New York will begin as the pace car will pull in and Zanella will floor it as he does right now, and we go green for 45 minutes of racing.
Yeah, definitely fantastic start here by Jose Zanella, making sure that there's nobody right beside him. As going to turn 1, it looks like here for second place. Everything seems kind of clean as we got a spinner here going on to turn 1 and trying to get who the person was.
Chavirazzo.
Yeah,
it's Chavirazzo who spun around. So Chavirazzo from 5th on the grid who started is spun around. That car's damaged, but back to the front here as Montero has the run on Jose Zanella for the lead. Look at Jake Vite behind though. He's trying to make this a three-way fight. They both go past Zanella for the lead, and that's Montero into first place, Vite into second, and that has demoted Jose Zanella all the way down into third. Can he make up these spots?
I'm pretty sure he will. It's just a matter of trying to make sure that you keep the car clean, as Jose Zanella just right behind the bumper of Jake Vite. They're going into turn number 6 here. See what he can do, but he decides to try to keep it tidy here. See if he can get a run coming out of here for the start finish line. It looks like he's just a bit farther, but Jake Vite just trying to break the draft here to make sure that he cannot overtake. But at the moment, that will definitely, if there's one person that is benefiting from all this fighting right behind here, Roberto Montero.
Yeah, Montero leads by 0.6 of a second ahead of Vite, who's closely behind, and it's Zanella, Villamil, Hector Aguirre into 5th. Martinez has jumped from 8th to 6th, but right now here's Jose Zanella trying to fight back to make his way into the top 2. He may not get P1, but he has a chance here, or they're going to be alongside each other into the bus stop. That was incredible racing right there. Vite with bravery up the inside. Now he sticks himself into that second position. He wants to cement that spot for himself.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, definitely Jose Zanella came in here to race today, as Jake Vite is still trying to fight that draft, but that with all that fighting, that's also allowed Aldo Villamil to catch into this battle. So let's see if he can do if he can do something about it and perhaps overtake these two for that P number 2.
Yeah, so Villamil, who started in 7th, now has a look into P3, into turn 1 on Jose Zanella. He's that close. He's currently in 4th. Other good starters throughout the field had Jose Luis Gallardo from 15th up into 11th. Abraham Calderon from 18th to 13th. What about Ramon Vera, 22nd to 15th? Much more rapid starters throughout the bottom end of the order, but right now the top 4 starting to form up. Zanella is a bit too far behind here for a move on Jake Vite. So they head towards the bus stop again, and Zanella skips through the bus stop. He has the exit though, and I think this is a good run, but it's just the carousel where I think Zanella struggles to stay close. You can see he takes an early turn in Alvin, and that compromises his exit quite a little bit.
Yeah, that's pretty much at this point what Jose Zanella needs to do is gonna understand that if he's going to make a pass, it's gonna be coming out of the SS into that back straight, going into the bus stop, or perhaps try to take a kind of wider line going into that carousel and perhaps get a better run going into here as he tries to get a pass here, but Jake Vite just defending there really nice. As he goes a little way and just a wiggle there, and that may help Jose Zanella here coming out of the SS, but it's a little bit too close right now. So let's see if he can get a run. And it seems like yes, he goes into the outside, and now let's see if he can get this move here, but decides to back off. And as also Aldo Villamil trying to get a look there as they try to break into the bus stop, but everything clean so far.
Yeah, and I think this is all but benefiting Roberto Montero in pole position. Now we know later on that gap may be closed down just because of any pace cars that may come out But right now, Vita ahead of Zanella, still battling now. Zanella is as close as he's ever been in that number 387 car, alongside each other into turn 6. Into the corner, sweeps the car in. Brilliant pass around the outside. Jose Zanella, stand up. Hats off for that.
I gotta say, as it stands right now, move of the race, because you really have to. That was a power move, trying to go from the outside and trying to make that move, and not only make it, but also to make it stick. Really hats off there, but to Jose Zanella. He ran just a little bit wide there, so that may also allow Jake Vita to get the run here, going into the SS and into the bus stop.
Yep, so now it's basically becoming a four-way fight for P2, but Vita is really close to Zanella here. Here's Hector Aguirre behind, also having a look at Villamil for P4. That's going to be tight between the two. Villamil outbrakes himself, spins into the bus stop, and that was the pressure from Hector Aguirre. Villamil, oh no! And now he's currently just trying to make his way back onto the racetrack, but that car is totaled, and he is, yeah, the suspension's bent. He can't steer the car at all. He's trying to pedal his way back to the pits, basically. But that was the pressure from Hector Aguirre, and we were watching it on our screens, the battle for P2, as we look at the replay as well, and it just, Villamil was under pressure from our pole sitter from last round.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you try to put some pressure here and there. You try to fight hard for those positions, and sometimes you lose concentration, as especially going into the bus stop. You really have to spot your braking point there. And if you lose it, really hard to get that car stop and turning. So really fortunate for Aldo Villamin.
Yeah, so that promotes Hector Aguirre to the 4th position. We look at the movers and shakers for our field again now. So Aguirre back into 4th after his poor start. Martinez still in 6th. He can't make his way past Valdivia. Valdivia's basically 1.5 seconds ahead of Martinez at the moment. But Montero doesn't seem to be pulling away as much anymore now that Zanella is free. 1.2 seconds the gap between the both of them. And are we going to see the same dominance we saw from last season from Roberto Montero? I guess we're going to see.
Well, it is possible that we can see that that same domination that we saw from last season. Yeah, he didn't win the first round, which is kind of similar with what happened on the previous season. The round 1 he didn't win, so it could be something with the MX-5 that he may not like, or it is or just after that, pretty much it's Roberto Montero is just so dominant. No matter what car you put him in, no matter the track that you put him in, no matter the circumstances, it could be a possibility of him being so dominant.
Yeah, and he is proven that. Series champion last time around. But he's come into this round 2nd in the championship standings. And he's got to improve on that for sure. As now we look at the number 90 car, Juan Carlos Anton Garcia, very close to Perez Gama. Perez Gama just made his way up into P9 as well. And Garcia gets the exit though. This is a good exit from Juan Carlos Anton Garcia as he pedals himself away right now. He's in that MH racing car. Juan Carlos Anton Garcia, he's got 4 tenths to make up on Perez Gama. Perez Gama's got half a second to make up on Andres Espinoza in the number 87 in front as they head towards turn 6. Sweeping the car into the corner. Fairly straightforward for all 3 of them right now. Now the double slipstream for Garcia is a good option right now.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's definitely gonna help him long term. Or perhaps you can just try to just tuck in behind, you know, make your own race. If you see a chance to overtake, then you perhaps can kind of go for it. You know, no really good pressure. But speaking of pressure, we got the battle here for P number 3 between Jake Vite and Hector Aguirre, and I think yeah, Jake Vite, as Hector Aguirre just tries to go for that move, and he gets it, and oh, Aldo Villanueva, Antonio Valdivia, sorry, just got a little bit of luck of trying to do the overtake, but managed to save it. But now Jake Vite up in front, well, sorry, Jake Vite up in 4th place, and with Hector Aguirre trying to get that move as well.
And look at that, P1 and P2, Zanella very close to Montero, who was held up by some traffic. And that is Nikolai Sachevsky trying to get out of the way. He doesn't know where to go. Montero tries to break the slipstream. Zanella has an opportunity here to claim the lead away from Roberto Montero. So some luck, it always comes Roberto Montero's way. This time around in the first 10 minutes, not so much. He's earned the start, earned his way into P1, but Zanella has the opportunity to climb his way back into the lead. The start didn't pan his way, but now he's got an attempt here. Montero closes the door, and that was quite an assertive defensive move there. Good stuff from Montero. Not even focused on defending once they started braking.
Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure Roberto Montero does understand that, even though he didn't grab the pole position here today, he knows he is fast. He knows he can dominate. So he is pretty much trying to mind his own business. But now with Jose Zanella right behind him, as they really close, they're going into the bus stop. But no problems there for either Jose Zanella or Roberto Montero, as kind of taking just a little bit of curve there. Roberto Montero getting out of that bus stop and getting a little bit jumpy, but no problem for him as they go back into that back straight. But pretty much seems like he got a pretty good healthy lead here.
Look at Martinez now, number 21 car, trying to pass the gear for P4. And Ignacio Martinez needs as many championship points as he can get. He's climbing his way up the order. This is good pace, but don't forget Antonio Valdivia behind. And Martinez is a little too late picking his line. He doesn't know where to go. And now in front, that's Vite defending P3 away from all of these guys. So a four-way fight here for the final podium position. Close between all of them. Martinez, though, almost hit the back. He's turned around. Tap from Gallardo. And Gallardo goes through to P5. That's a NASCAR maneuver there. We've got a lot of NASCAR Mexico drivers here. So proving their worth with those moves. That was good.
Yeah, it certainly is a really fantastic battle here between. It actually looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 car battle here that we got that train that we got going here today for that P3. Yeah, so we've got a spinner there. We got a spinner.
That's Martinez. Martinez turned around and into the wall. Our round one winner, and he has to enter the pit lane. He cannot steer that car back onto the racetrack. He was turned around, I believe, by one of the drivers down the order. So not sure who it was, but Martinez now enters the pit lane. He'll try to repair the front of that car, and this could detriment his race quite a bit as we look at the replay there. So it was through the final corner, Alvin, and as Martinez just went through, it seemed anyway, Valdivia in front. So Valdivia, there we go, the tap, and he just was turned around. So Antonio Valdivia will certainly get a talking to by the stewards, and even Martinez as well. But Valdivia has to be said though, Alvin, he did try to avoid Martinez. He just had such a good run on him.
Yeah, it certainly was. It's pretty much one of those that you are racing really hard. You are close, and sometimes those things happen. You don't want them to happen, but that happened. Really unfortunate there for Ignacio Martinez.
Yeah, so we saw Valdivia. He actually tried to readdress the position and avoid any talking to by the stewards, but then Martinez had to take to the pit lane. So I don't think Valdivia wants to park for about 2 minutes because his pit lane is so long. As Aguirre right now, he spins, and that is at the first corner of the racetrack. Hector Aguirre spins around, and that car's totaled as well. He can't continue. Hector Aguirre again for another round, and he's into the wall as well. We'll look at the replay hopefully soon, and this race has gone dramatic.
Yeah, it is. It seems like Hector Aguirre just cannot find his slot there as he trying to brake for turn number 1, but I don't know what happened there. Kind of looks like he lost control of. Yeah, looks more like a brake failure. Like he tried to avoid what was happening just in front of him and just took it into the grass and into the wall. So if we're gonna talk about somebody having bad luck at starting this championship, has to be Hector Aguirre. First race, some technical difficulties, and now looks like some brake failure.
Yep, so now here's Gallardo on Vite for P3. Gallardo has been the tough cookie this race. He's been very, very strong, very quick as well, making his way up the order. And now he's going to try and beat Jake Vite for that final podium position. It's only provisional though, because there's still 31 minutes remaining in the event. Over half an hour left. But Gallardo has the opportunity now. Vite is going to hug the inside. Oh, Gallardo takes to the grass. He had to swerve to avoid him. And now he should claim the position if Vite can fight up the inside. No, closes the door, Jose Luis Gallardo, and he's up into third. Good battle right there.
Yeah, definitely just a classic overtaking here at Watkins Glen. Jake Vita definitely was caught kind of off guard there, but also this Gallardo definitely got the good run there going into the bus stop, and now, well, he's running in P3, but Jake Vita not giving up.
Yep, so you can see at the top left of your screen if you want to follow the time remaining in the event. Just over half an hour, as I mentioned. Top of your screen as well for all the lead changes, anything else, because there is so much going on in this event, and with so many drivers out there, a total of 45 that began the race, there's surely going to be a lot of battling going on. But Aguirre has officially retired from the race. Here's the battle for the lead, though, as Zanella now closes in on Montero, goes for the inside line, and Zanella backs off. What was that about? Jose Zanella just completely backed off, and he didn't go for the move. So was he a bit scared there? Was there an issue going on? That was confusing.
Yeah, definitely seems like there may have been a little bit of lack of confidence going into that move, but you know, that also speaks volumes about Jose Zanella, and you know, if he wasn't sure that he could make that move in a clean way and as to not take each other out, then even better, you know. So heads up driving there by Jose Zanella, but I'm pretty sure this will not be over, and once he sees another opportunity, he will go for it.
Yep. Oh, Perez Gama, 13th. He's currently in the 13th position, but he's dropping down. He's got damage to that car. Raul Perez Gama, big names in this race, are constantly dropping out. And now Perez Gama is going to have to take to the pit lane. That car, the steering's bent, suspension's broken. And that is going to be hard to turn into turn 6 and 7 if there's any traffic behind. Cosio is about 8 seconds behind now, so I think Perez Gama will be fine. And that's... who's that in front? That's another driver going off the racetrack in front. That's Espinoza, who's in 23rd. This is like a double team screen brick wall at the final corner. They both enter the pit lane, though, before anybody comes. And that could have ended quite a few races, Alvin.
Yeah, it is something that we see here, especially that that pit entry is really fast, and if you are not really careful, especially coming out of turn number 6, and you don't pay attention to what is in front of you, really no time to brake and trying to get this car coming into that stop. Yeah, it is a fast and nimble car. It is a downforce car. It has a decent set of brakes here. Andres Espinosa just contact there with coming out of turn number 6 as I was speaking. Yeah, it is really a hard thing to do, that, you know, trying to get to stop the car coming out of turn 6 if you are really not paying attention to what's going in front of you.
Yep, and Gallardo pits as well. So a couple of drivers entering the pit lane. Juan Carlos Santa Garcia. That was Abraham Calderon colliding earlier. That was the car that was spun in front. So there's so much going on right now as Gallardo exits the pit lane. So this is before the mandatory pace car, Alvin. So these are strategic pit stops, and it could climb their way up the order. And I have a feeling Donaciano Martinez there in 14th. Remember, he had to enter the pit lane after Valdivia tried to avoid him. I think Martinez now, who makes a move there on Alex D'Alba into 13th, I think he can climb his way back up into the top 5 come the end of the race.
Yeah, if there is something that we have seen from this race, it is not over till it's over, and having that competition yellow, which should be coming relatively soon. We really don't know when it's gonna come. It's just it'll come at a certain window time. So it's just pretty much most of the teams trying to get that strategy part of this race. Perhaps trying to go for tires or not go with tires, as the battle for the lead is heating up here between Roberto Montero and Jose Zanella.
As now Olin now continues as well. So Zanella couldn't make a move on Montero, but now Olin climbing his way into the top 5. Remember, he started in 13th. And he makes his way up the order. He has always been a strong racer. It's his qualifying that he needs to improve at. But Olin there into the top 5. Martinez there, we were following. He's just passing cars like there's no tomorrow right now, screaming his way through the field. And he's got some more drivers to pass right now. He is back to the lead though. Zanella into the first corner. Braking, throwing the car into the turn 1. Good exit though by Montero, but Zanella's going to have that draft advantage as he'll try to make the move here. On the long back straight, they pass through the S's. Then through turn 4, Zanella starting to back off a little bit. He doesn't want the lead. Zanella is purposely not claiming the lead here for some reason. So he's had about 3 different moves. But he just doesn't want to claim the lead. Look at Jake Vite. Jake Vite's entered the pit lane as well. So in 9th, just ahead of the pace car. So Vite, their strategic pit stop as well. We'll see where he feeds out though. He's got plenty of clean air to the driver in P11, Jose Luis Gallardo. So good pit stop from Vite. Or excuse me, actually, Martinez and Cosio just go past there. So Vite demoted now to 12th. He's got to stay ahead of Cosio and Alex D'Alba, depending on the slipstream right now. Zanella. Right now, Montero enters the pit lane, so Zanella now takes the lead. And Montero, strategic pit stop for him. Valdivia still 3rd. This is, I don't know what's going on, Alvin. So some drivers staying out, some drivers not. And that could detriment some races as Valdivia also pits.
Yeah, it is definitely, this part of the race always really interesting with some cars deciding to come into the pits. Now, I really don't visualize anybody trying to make a stop under yellow, especially with so many people coming into the pits. So it should be just a matter of trying to get that stop out of the way, trying to get your car making sure that it's working. Perhaps change tires if you want, but like we just mentioned, the track here really cold today, so changing tires, you really have to be careful coming out of the pits.
Yep, so we'll see who has fresh tires coming into the race, because Martinez now in 8th, and our round 1 winner, I should say, Donaciano Martinez, and he is got the advantage right now, but whether he has the fresh rubber coming into the race is another question in itself. So Zanella leads ahead of Olin, and it's Fernando Mendez who started outside the top 10, just in front of Nahum Olin. And we look down the order as well. Inigo Aroshi there in 4th. Cosio rounds out the 5th position. Montero from the lead now, 36.5 seconds ahead or behind Jose Zanella. And Zanella continues another time around. So Montero there. Zanella's going to have the fresh rubber, Alvin, but let's see if maybe not the undercut because Montero was leading, but Montero could gain a bit of an advantage here.
Yeah, it is pretty much Roberto Montero now, pretty much with that fresh rubber. I'm pretty sure he is taking as much advantage as possible, trying to cut it into that lead. So I'm pretty sure that Jose Zanella, if he really wants to keep this lead, he has to come into the pits and make sure that to keep the lead. Or perhaps, who knows, if he wants to, he doesn't want to come out of the pits and perhaps tough it out with what he has.
Good look at this battle right now. That's between Martinez and Herrero alongside each other into the bus stop. Herrero backs off though, doesn't want to fight with Martinez, and Martinez now into 6th. So Donaciano on a charge right now through the field. And if you saw that on your screens earlier, that was Ruben Ravello who spun just in front of Roberto Montero. So Ravello is way down the order right now. He's not really in the fight, but he's currently in 31st, so that's how far down the order he is. So he's just trying to get assimilated with the car itself. Here's Jose Luis Gallardo, though, fighting with Juan Herrero. Into the final corner, Gallardo has to back off. That's the run he got on Herrero into turn 1, right behind him.
Yeah, it is. It kind of looks like they're Jose Luis Gallardo trying to perhaps trying to get a little bit of trouble there through that battle with Juan Herrero. They're battling really hard, and that has allowed Donaciano Martinez to pull a good gap there from those two. So as it stands right now, it should be now just a matter of trying to get into your rhythm as Jose Zanella into the pits.
Yep, so Zanella pits from the lead, as Alvin just mentions, and he's trying to find his box. Where's his pit box? That's going to cost him time. He couldn't find it. Nahum Olin stays out though. So Olin will not lead a lap because Zanella crossed the line first, but he should lead next time around. Mendes 4.5 seconds behind. Zanella, though, this is important, Alvin. Let's see where he feeds out. He's got a lot of time to Montero behind.
Yeah, definitely yes. Roberto Montero just overtook Jose Zanella there, so yeah, Roberto Montero definitely now in front. Pretty sure the fact that Jose Zanella decided to stay a couple of laps there, yeah, just a couple of laps more definitely cost him. As I can see Jose Zanella really going back into it, so it could be a case of who knows? Perhaps he got a speeding penalty.
Yeah, possibly a penalty there. 36.5 second pit stop. And Roberto Montero had an 18.9 second pit stop. Zanella now into 8th. And as Valdivia goes past, Antonio Valdivia screamed past Jose Zanella. Didn't even just pass him, just rocketed past the number 387 car. And that has cost Zanella's race quite dearly right now, Alvin. And he is all the way down in 8th.
Yeah, it definitely is something that this has cost a lot of positions here that what has happened to him. But you know what? From all this, Roberto Montero now in third place, but Nahu Molin staying out of the pits, leading this race.
Yep. So Lin now leads the race, and he will lead a lap. So bonus points for him important there. Mendes in second. What would you do now? Would you continue away, Alvin, in the lead for as long as possible for Nahum and make a late pit stop? But you want the advantage from those fresh rubber or the fresh 4 tires.
Well, you know, as it stands right now, you gotta tough it out. Unless you forget to put that extra bit of fuel that you need to finish the race. At this point in the race, you just tough it out. You try to do the best you can with what you have, and whatever happens, just happens.
Yep, and Olin pits. So there you go. You said tough it out. He's decided to duck into the pit lane. Hopefully no penalty this time around.
And a spinner going in, and a spinner just coming into the pits as well. Fernando Mendes just spawned coming out of turn 7 and into the pits now.
Yep, so there you go. Olin enters his box. Spinners and drivers starting to struggle with their tires at the moment, though. So there pretty much appears to be no caution. So green flag pit stops for this race as Olin in 4th. See where he feeds out, though. Montero has an 11.7 second lead on Donaciano Martinez, though. So Martinez into 2nd. I called it, Alvin. I said maybe top 5. I'm not trying to sound very arrogant here, but he's even improved on that. He's gone up to 2nd.
Yeah, really, Donaciano Martinez a fantastic race here. It goes to show you that just because you had a bad qualifying, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna have a bad race. And Donaciano Martinez really proving here that he does have the skill and he does have the car just behind him to do a good race.
All right, so we'll take a breather and look at your top 10 right now, as that was about half an hour of hectic racing, because Montero now leads again after the pit stops. Mendes, though, in 7th. He's spun around at the bus stop, and he's in the middle of the track. He's going to rejoin without any troubles right now, and that was under braking. And just as we said we were going to take a break, here Mendes decides to spring up some more fire.
Yeah, definitely. This does show that the action is not over. Yes, most of pretty much pit cycle should be done, but everybody here just giving it all day, half in here today, not giving one single inch.
Now Mendes right behind Espinosa. That was very close, but he's didn't tap him. We've seen a few drivers have some troubles through that tight turn 7, the final corner. And into turn 1 now alongside Espinosa. Still can't make the move. Very cautious. And we've only got 2 left-handers on this racetrack, Alvin. Turn number 3, which they're coming up to now through the S's. And we have turn number 6, the left-hander, the canvas corner, second to last corner on the racetrack. Mendes has a chance here into the bus stop. The bus stop is considered basically turn 5A. It's not even its own turn. So, disrespect to the bus stop as Mendes basically that's good respect between those two, though. That was tight racing, no contact. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, definitely fantastic racing there between Andres Espinosa and Fernando Mendez. You know, giving each other as much room as possible, understanding who has the position, and just yielding. They know that, you know, you may have the position on me right now, but there's still 15 minutes to go in this race, so I can still go for it.
And guess who's going to get the most laps led bonus points? I think it's quite obvious. So Roberto Montero led 19 this event, and with 15 minutes remaining, that really mathematically it's not possible for anybody else to beat that marks, because Jose Zanella's next on the list with 4 laps led, Olin with 2, and that is it right now for drivers who have led laps. Montero crosses the line, begins another lap, 1 minute 7.777 last time around. That's 4 sevens, Alvin, and that is maybe a lucky 7 number.
Yeah, definitely Roberto Montero having a fantastic race here today. But started in second place, but pretty much like we just said, just because you don't get pole position doesn't mean you are gonna have a bad race. And Roberto Montero just proving right there why he is the class of the field here today.
And there you go. Is Montero now a bit of traffic in front? That's going to hold him up a little bit, and just make his way through cautiously. You know, one skill of motor racing which is underrated is how well you are at making your way past traffic. And you're a very avid endurance racer, Alvin. We know how good you are in endurance terms. Is it an underrated skill, or do you think it's rated properly? Because I think that trying to make your way past lap traffic without losing much time is a tactic in itself as a leader.
Well, you know, it is really one thing when you are on a fast car, and you may have a slower class car, for example, and you're trying to get that. As we just had a 3-car battle, and we just lost a car there as one car into the wall. Inigo Aroche just hitting that wall, going into the SS. So now it's just a 2-car battle between Andres Espinosa and Fernando Mendez here coming into the carousel. But going back to your question, yes, it is a skill that you really have to be on top of it. Some people have this uncanny ability to really read traffic way before things happen, and some people are just gonna ones that they just go by, and you know, they just try to do things as best as they can. But it is a really hard skill that you have, and as we saw just 2 nights ago at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, you know,
sorry, Alvin. Gonna have to interrupt. Martinez and Zanella both spun at the bus stop. So big battle there. Olin makes his way through. Martinez rejoins. That was quite hair-raising, but Zanella tapped Martinez through the bus stop, and that took them both out of the event right now. Well, actually, both out of the running to try to catch up to Valdivia in 3rd. Olin promotes himself to 4th, but the battle just started to heat up there through the bus stop, and I think it was just the same sort of mistakes we've seen all race. Martinez said that car looks damaged, and I think the tires don't look that good either as Zanella makes his way past.
Yeah, definitely does. You know, Martinez now coming into the pits. Really unfortunate for who was the winner of our last race here, coming into the pits, and race over for him.
Yeah, race over, and that's I don't want to say heartbreaking, because I say that for everybody, but that is truly detrimental. The championship with Ignacio Martinez. 6 rounds though, Alvin, and of course we don't know where everybody's going to be at next round or any of the rounds in the future. It's all a blur for these drivers until 24 hours before the event. But second pit stop for Martinez. Look at Vite though, damage for him, and now he's, oh geez, and that's just, again, drivers have just had damage, and that was through a car rejoining the racetrack. And Jake Vite has come through without the Shamrock. No good luck for him.
Yeah, definitely. If I can say that he was really upset there in the radio, and of course, really upset. Don't really want to translate because it really heated conversation. But Jake Vite there having a good battle, and really unfortunate that incident.
Yep. So no luck of the Irish for Vite, and he enters the pit lane. You know who that promotes into P2 and P3? So Valdivia in 2nd, Olin now into the podium. This is an unlikely result for some of these guys. Valdivie's been quick P6 to P2. I always spoke about Olin having to improve his race pace. Well, I think he just proved himself right there. As the battle right now for, well, it's going to be P6 and 7 as they pass Vita in the pit lane. So Mendez defending from Espinosa here, Alban. They're going to be alongside each other into the S's possibly.
Yeah, I definitely do smell there. Andres Espinosa really not getting a great run there coming out of the S's. Let's see what he can do as they now into this back straight. Andres Espinosa showing him the to the right side, goes side by side into the bus stop. Will he make it? Yes, he can. Andres Espinosa up into P number 6.
And that's Alfonso Oros in front, getting out of the way. That could have held up Espinosa as we cross the 10-minute mark remaining in the event. So 10 minutes left, but Espinosa claims P6. And Zanella is right behind Olin for the final podium position. They're going to run through up the S's. Poor exit, though, for Jose Zanella. Olin has a shaky moment, though. And this is going to be a brave move if Zanella has the straight line speed. I think he's a little bit too far behind to rationally think about it. Past the DRS zone. No DRS for these cars, though. So, and that would be scary. Seriously, if these cars had DRS and the amount of grip that some of these drivers have with the damage, we would be in for double the amount of action.
Yeah, definitely. It will definitely make to some interesting racing to say the least here if these cars have DRS. But of course, they know it's just a simple. I won't say open wheel car. It's just one of those fun track day cars that you may find at your local website. Somebody has for sale, and you may get a good track day car that you may have some fun. And this is what the radicals are for, just a pure fun on the racetrack. And this is what we're seeing here today.
And here's Zanella though alongside, and he's going to make his way up into P3. Olin falls down the order, so the pressure not proving on Olin's side, but he's going to fight back though for the final podium position. Doesn't have the straight line speed, and into the bus stop. That is going to be Jose Zanella back into the top 3. He had a chance for the lead, the poor pit stop with a penalty, and now he's got 11 seconds to make up on Valdivia. I think the top 3, bar any lapped car incidents. And you know my rant for hating lap cars, Alvin. It's heated to say the least. Anything could happen, but I think the top 3 is basically almost sealed unless Olin can fight back right now.
Yeah, it's pretty much like this. This will be the top 3 here. We got Roberto Montero there in first place right now. Second place Antonio Valdivia, 22 seconds behind. That just shows you how dominant Roberto Montero has been throughout this race. First place we got Jose Zanella, 33 seconds behind Roberto Montero. Fourth place Nahum Oli, and fifth place running up your top 5, Juan Carlos Anton Garcia.
Yeah, so there you go. Garcia in 5th down the order. Mendez, Espinosa, Perez Gama, Alex D'Alba in 9th, who started this race in E25. Martinez drops down to 10th, and he's been everywhere this race. Ignaciano Martinez. He's dropped a lap down as well. So only 9 cars on the lead lap right now. And that just goes to show the pace that Montero has sustained. 1 minute 8.2 last lap around. Wasn't the quickest, but he did have to lap a few cars as well. It's just been amazing. Again, we've come back to see Montero back on top in that go-kart Mania car.
Yeah, he certainly is. If there was one question coming into this race, was if Roberto Montero, not that he had a bad race last time at Lime Rock Park, but we've just gotten used to him coming into first place and just dominating every single race that he comes in. So every time we see him in second place, perhaps we may question if something was going on with him, or if there is something else. But I'm pretty sure after what we have seen in this race today, no question that Roberto Montero is back on his A game.
So what's the key to stopping Montero then, as we look at a battle here between Mendez and Espinosa?
I don't know. It's really hard. you really, it's just that Roberto Montero, it's just on just on a different level compared to all the drivers. Perhaps he is the person that can get used to these different car track combinations. It doesn't matter the combination that you put in. Usually the drivers get notified 24 hours before the race event starts. So I could say perhaps from all the drivers he is the best that can adapt to all these conditions and just make it work.
Yeah, so that's a good point right there. As we approach 5 minutes remaining in the event, we saw Espinosa, he backed off a little bit. He even dabbed the brakes. His brake lights went on, lit up red. And as they cross the line, there's that 5-minute mark. And the top 10 starting to stay stagnant right now. This is the only close battle within a second, as Montero leads from Valdivia, Zanella, Olin, Garcia, Mendez, Espinosa, P67, there's Perez Gama, D'Alba, Martinez, Fausto Duran Contreras down there in 11th, has hung around that spot all event. Now, as Espinosa's a little bit too far back, Angeles, and that VXM racing car, so just trying to, he's got a nice livery right there. I like the looks of that car there. Some nice, a lot of colors to light up the field.
Yeah, definitely. That's something that we also get to see with these cars. You know, that trying to get you get a 24-hour notice, and you know, try to get that fresh paint, getting to dry up. So you know, that's also something good to see that these drivers have some creativity 24 hours before the race and trying to get something put together. So really nice to see the drivers getting this done.
Yep, and you can see Jose Luis Gallardo there. He's in P15. That's not a pass for position. He's just unlapping himself. And that's the pace, unfortunately, that Jose Luis Gallardo has had. He hasn't been able to capitalize on it, at least for round 2 here at the Blackphone Grand Prix of New York at the Glen. With 3.5 minutes remaining, Gallardo still unlapping himself. And I think he's got a bit of a gap in front to 17 seconds. The next driver in front, so he shouldn't have to unlap himself at the moment. Oh, they're going to be alongside each other. He's turned around. Oh, he's unlapping himself. He's turned around there as well. That was by Mendez. Mendez is damaged, spins around, and I knew something was going to happen there, and it was just you look at the replay now. That could have ended a lot better. Oh, and that was Montero almost taken out. We'll follow the replay until the carousel, but Montero was almost taken out there by Mendez as he rejoined the track, the leader.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like, you know, Fernando Mendez just having a great battle there with Andres Espinosa. You got a car that, yeah, he may be faster, but hey, buddy, you know, you are a lap down. You know, just try to give a little bit more space, and well, that just happened. And then to add more insult to injury, just Roberto Montero giving a good tap there, almost taking Roberto Montero out, and now Fernando Mendez into the pits. Unfortunate.
Yeah, so you can tell apart Montero with that Go-Kart Mania livery, sponsored by the series sponsor. That's how impressive he's been. He's impressed them too. Here's Espinosa though, 3/10 behind into the bus stop. He just cannot make a move this race. But that's for P6. So Perez Gama, actually, we've missed that. Perez Gama's gone into 6 in the meantime, Alvin. So there you go.
Yeah, that really helped Perez Gama, you know, trying to, even though with anything that may have happened today, you know, trying to do the best race you can as possible. And you know what, sometimes being silent does have its own benefits. So Perez Gama now into P6.
There you go. So with 1.5 minutes remaining, Montero will cross the line. He should have, this will be 2 laps remaining, shouldn't it? And I'm assuming 2 laps remaining. My math is not good. I don't even know what 1 + 1 is. That's how bad sometimes I am with mistakes. So yeah, so I'm correct. There's Hugo behind the scenes in my ear tells me the right news. As now Montero, no lap traffic in front. I'm getting quite nervous right now. I don't know if this is, I should be nervous as Espinosa and Perez Gama still battle here. But I don't know if I should watch out for Montero and see if there's any lap traffic come up. I literally, my heart started racing there as Mendes rejoined the track.
Well, as it stands right now, I'm looking at the track map, and he is coming into this battle for P6 and P number 7 between Raul Perez and Andres Espinosa. But he looks like he is a good ways behind, so he should not be having any problem catching these two battles as they are coming into the start-finish line and with 2 laps to go. But just right behind it, Roberto Montero starting the final lap.
Yep, there you go. And now Montero crosses the line. 15 seconds remaining on the timer. I don't believe in commentary curses because I think it's superstitious. I don't believe in superstition. But I believe in rationality, and right now we're trying to calculate whether or not he's going to reach this fight between 6 and 7 as Espinosa now alongside Perez Gama as they battle for that 6th spot. And they're going to tap. Oh, small tap between the two. I don't know how they didn't spin around there. Perez Gama, though, in 7th. He's going to try and stick it around the outside, though. Now has the inside lane to the carousel, but Espinosa is a couple of car lengths in front, and that is enough to claim P6 away as Montero currently on the final lap of the race. And this will be a brilliant win for Roberto Montero. He won't reach this battle in time, and it should be a seamless couple of final corners as he sweeps the car through turn 6 and then through turn 7, and it's a return to the top step of the podium for Roberto Montero as he wins round number 2 of the Go-Kart Mania iRacing Pro Championship. A brilliant win at the Black Phone Grand Prix of New York at the Glen. Montero, seamless victory over 20 seconds in front of Antonio Valdivia, who will now come through the final corner and will claim that 2nd step on the podium there. Brilliant race from Antonio Valdivia, who finished all the way down in P33 last round. That's how impressive that's been. Jose Zanella, though, who needed a great result to his name. Penalty at the pit stop, and he's still in the podium. Good stuff from Jose Zanella. Olin follows in 4th. Look at Perez Gama and Espinosa, though, very close between those two as we're still battling here on the final lap. And Espinosa, I think, is a little bit too far behind. Anton Garcia just crosses the line in 5th. But here's the battle, though. It's going to be across the line, Alvin, as these two still fight.
Yeah, definitely. This battle is not over by any means. But Raul Perez Gama just took that P number 6 going into the bus stop. They were going side by side. But a fantastic finish there by Raul Perez Gama in P6.
Yep, so he capitalized on that spin by Mendes earlier, the battle with Espinosa. So Perez Gama now claims 6th, Espinosa 7th. Denaciano Martinez, our round 1 winner, all the way down in 8th come the end of the event. And it's Alex D'Alba 9th. Fausto Duran Contreras, brilliant result, gets his way up into 10th. Alex D'Alba started in 25th, Duran Contreras in 10th. And that is the end of... It's like a VMAX test. I've lost my breath after that race. There's the action in this series keeps getting better.
Yeah, definitely. This was a really fantastic race here. We got action all over the place. But at the end of the day, nobody can stop Roberto Montero.
Yeah, so the results anyway, we saw Montero, as you saw on your screen, wins the race. Only 7 cars were on the lead lap in the end as Montero, Valdivia, Zanella, Olin, then we had Garcia, Perez Gama, Espinosa. Those are the drivers on the lead lap. Down the order, Miguel Maya there in 11th, and then the rest of the field on your screen as well. You can see a lot of cars going 3-4 laps behind. Final wrap-up, Alvin, before we leave. Brilliant event. We don't know where we're going to be next round, but Montero could be unstoppable.
Yeah, pretty much. This could be a repeat from last season. Yes, he didn't win last race, but just like last season, he didn't win last race, but then from round number 2 onwards, nobody could stop Roberto Montero. Could we see a repeat from last season? We'll have to find out next week.
Yeah, so there you go. And next week, that race will be in 7 days' time as always. 1 week is 7 days, obviously. I shouldn't actually mention that. And coverage will begin anyway at 3:30 a.m. GMT. So different start time. Check your local times. Convert it as usual so you don't miss the event. But that race should be a good one anyway. And before we leave, actually, quickly speak to Nahum Alin, who came home in the 4th position. Are you there, Nahum? Can we speak to you right now? You don't know if you're still having a breather after such an amazing race. Don't know if he's there. That's the thing. See, he's still recovering from his breath and the breathing and everything. I have to say, as we wait for Nahum to speak, you know what? Seriously, Alvin, like, the racing, as I mentioned, keeps getting better each race. Montero there, another win. Valdivia seconds, another third. We keep getting these drivers that pop up and spike up from time to time. So I don't know if drivers are getting better or whether it's a bit of luck sometimes. But it's good to see that it's not always predictable at times. Apart from Montero winning most of the races.
Yeah, it is. This has been definitely one great race here today. Some good battles all over the field. Yeah, we also saw some drivers a little bit perhaps impatient or just showing the little bit of lack of experience here and there. But as the championship goes along, I am pretty sure that most of the drivers here were just trying to get along and learn how things go. And I'm pretty sure that towards the end of the championship, everybody here will be getting along very, very fine.
Yeah, there you go. As Nahum Alin joins us again. Can you hear us now, Nahum?
Yeah, how are you guys? I'm very tired, I have to say.
Well, it's late in the night there anyway. It's getting there. And you finished in 4th. And, we don't like to show bias in the commentary booth, but we were actually quite excited when you were making your way up in the top 3.
Yeah, I tried to play a smart race. I was able to lead one lap. I was able to fight in the top 3, but I saw that Sanela was faster than me. I said, you know what? I'll let you go. I'll finish 4th. I need points for the championship. That's my goal.
Yep. So rationality there from Nahum, who you actually led 2 laps in the end. So you don't actually get a bonus point for the extra lap, but you get the bonus points for at least one. So regardless of that, doesn't matter in the end. You've got as many points as you can get. Was that the reason why you stayed out though? To make your pit stop so late to lead the extra laps for those bonus points?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it was two things. I wanted to make sure that I led at least one lap, and actually, the car was so much quicker with low fuel, so I was able to build some fast laps. And when I had only half a liter of fuel left, that's when I dived into the pits.
Yeah, and we don't want to rush the interview too quickly, but final thing for you. You've got the points you needed right now. You finished 5th last race. Is there that little confidence boosting for you right now where you seriously feel you can take the win? Because, yeah, you finished 39 seconds away from Roberto, but it's your qualifying, I think, that is the only detriment right now. Your race pace seems to be quick. It's just qualifying you need to improve. And you admitted to that, too, in previous weeks.
Yeah, I mean that's an issue even in real life. I'm have some issues with qualifying. I think that my race pace is good, but I'm trying to just get good points for the first 3 races, and on the last 3 races, then that's when we turn on and we go.
Yeah, there you go. I like that attitude there, Alvin. And as we wrap up with Nahum, actually, any thank yous, Nahum? I forgot to mention that. Any thank yous and sponsorship mentions? We know Go Kart Mania sponsoring the series, and anybody else.
Yeah, I want to thank Blackphone who joined this series for this race. Great phones and Go Kart Mania for all the support and all the drivers who did a very clean race and are improving race by race. This is a series for them. I want to thank them.
Yeah, there you go. So Nahum Alin, who finished in the 4th position at the Blackphone Grand Prix of New York, round number 2 of the Go Kart Mania iRacing Pro Championship. Final words, Alvin, before we leave for next week. Any predictions you got for the future?
Well, I would like to think that there will be a different winner, but seeing that what we saw last season and what we saw here today, I think it's pretty much could be another Roberto Montero win for next week.
Yeah, I'm going to pick someone. I don't know who to pick. I'm going to pick 15 drivers. As much as Montero is good, Let's see if someone can take the fight to him. It'll make things so much more interesting in the championship. We saw it last round with Martinez. But that round, as we mentioned before, will be in 7 days' time. That will be on the 7th of November. Coverage will begin at 3:30 a.m. GMT, so different start time. Check your local time zones for that. Convert it. Don't miss it. That will be round 3 of the championship on RaceSpot TV, streamed live on iRacing Live. As always, thanks to iRacing and Wern Design, our graphics partner, Istvan Belor, for his track camera work as well. Thanks to all you viewers out there. You've been brilliant as always. Thanks to Alvin Nieves alongside me, Hugo Luis behind the scenes broadcasting. I'm Jonathan Simon. This has been a RaceSpot TV presentation broadcasted on iRacing Live. We say so long from the Black Phone Grand Prix of New York for round 2 of the Go Kart Mania iRacing Pro Championship from the Glen.